Part of the algorithm that no one else does. And it's the only thing that does all of those signals. The only thing I know of. I have these devices all over the country. In fact, I'm populating the world with them now. We're doing a lot of stuff in Australia now, the UK, even South Africa. We're starting to get devices populating there too. And when I say devices, it's cell phones. I'm talking about like tablets and cell phones and any mobile devices. So when I get a customer, I won't take on anybody. I say you have to qualify. And to qualify, you've got to put my apps on your devices so my network grows. Because I can call upon that network to send these signals for you. So it's like magic. We're talking about magic.
It's the magic.
That's the magic.
Cool.
There really is no magic, it's all math. But if you don't know the math behind it, it looks like magic.
So in other words, we've sent Santa's elves all over the world and given them cell phones?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was
So
saying. You're
yeah.
not very far off. You just
That's
need to know
why
the-
Santa wanted to talk about where his elves were living now. Now I get the call. Thanks, I get it now.
You just didn't know why. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm here for. Tell you the why. So here's what it does. It reaches out to one of those devices and it sends a search with a keyword. Like whatever keyword you want to rank for, runs the search and it looks for you. When it doesn't find you, Google doesn't like that. You're going to bounce on Google. So it looks through there. It'll probably go about 5 pages deep. Everything is randomized, so it never does the same action twice. But this is the important part. When it doesn't find it, it bounces back on Google. Google hates bounce, even more on their own site, because it says they didn't provide a good user experience. And they don't like that. So once it goes back, it bounces back, it revises the search, and it adds your brand to the keyword. It reruns the search. It's always going to find you with this. No one else is going to rank, or they shouldn't be ranking. If someone else ranks for your brand and a keyword, you got bigger problems, and we need a different conversation.
So if you, for example, owned a derivation of a competitor, if you owned a derivation of their URL, and were sending it toward your own website, they have a challenge.
Lots of challenges here.
I know how that works.
But anyway, now that you've come up, the device clicks on your site, sends that signal to Google, hey, this is the one they really wanted. And then it spends time on your site. First thing it does is it inventories your internal links. And then it'll randomize it like a lottery. And it'll randomly just pick a link in your site, click on it, and go visit another page. And it'll do this for a random amount of time, spend a random amount of time on each page, ultimately winding up on your contact page. You can put any page you want in there, but we recommend the contact page because that's a likely page for them to end their visit. And then, number 4, really important, closes the browser session. What's that tell Google?
You found what you needed.
That's right.
Well,
There's no better process.
so what you've done is you've taken what somebody does when they go to Google. They find what they're looking for, they go to the website, they make the contact, and then they can close the browser. That's what a human being does.
That's right, and that's what I've replicated.
That's
I've always found that if you figure out what works in the real world, that's what will work online. And this has nothing to do with SEO, but it has everything to do with SEO.
yeah.
This should be the same in your marketing funnels. I have never seen yet a marketing funnel that worked, that the process didn't work in the real world. So don't expect that magic to happen. Figure out how you sell to people and then replicate that in your marketing funnels. If you're doing anything else, it's not going to convert. It just won't. Look at what works in the real world. Okay, so this process, Google absolutely loves this. There's no better search experience that they will look at and say, I like that better. This is it. So imagine for a minute if you had that ability to control RankBrain, to feed it the signals to say your site belongs at the top. I don't know of anybody else that can do this. That puts me in a pretty good position to play this game. All right, so does it really work? This is one thing everybody, yeah, it sounds pretty good, but does it really work? You guys have heard testimonials and case studies, and I have those just plugged coming out of my ears of people that this has worked for. I get emails every day. This is what the actual app looks like. Somebody sent me and they say, this keyword, I was on page 6 with a lot of competition. Now they're in number 5 spot. The middle one there. Brand new keyword, never ranked before, low competition, now number 1. There's one worse than page 10, lots of competition, now they're on number 9. So this thing moves the needle. We've got these over and over and over. This is hemp oil. How competitive is that? I haven't put this on anything that it didn't work for. Here's family dentistry, same thing. Page 2, number 9, now page 1, number 6. Most of these were after a very short time. Usually 30 days, maybe 60 days. Here's some SEM rush reports of what happens. You'll see they were flatlined, they were nowhere, and then we put the thing on, boom, up she goes. Same thing there, different sites. So next we want to talk about, this is back to what would it cost you to do this. There's a lot of guys that try and do this, and the way they do it is they get these micro workers in India. They can pay them about 25 cents to do this. But what do you think that tells Google when all of your searches come out of India?
It's being manipulated.
You think that's trustworthy? They're a little smarter than that. So that's an issue. The other thing is we have identified that the average site, it takes about 500 of these searches a month to move the needle. And that's what we do. We'll send 500 a month. That would cost you 125 bucks. And that's not the problem, because that's a deal. If you could get the Indian workers for that price, that would be a deal. But here's where the deal falls apart. Managing them. How are you going to manage that many people? How would you manage 500 Indians that you're paying 25 cents to make sure they're going to do it right, and not screw you in the process? What's that going to cost you for that management? So what if I told you I could do it for under 100 bucks and automate the process? Because that's what my machine does. And that price is not for everyone, that's for you guys. 97 bucks a month if you qualify. Pretty cool?
Yeah, cool. And we pay for it for anyone that signs up as a coaching client.
That's right. Any of you guys that haven't signed up or not going to sign up? For whatever reason, even if you don't, you could still get this and put this on track.
Wow.
Yes?
I have are we allowed to ask questions here?
Yeah, you can ask anything you want.
So one of the things that I've been told is because we're a financial advisory firm, our marketing budget is nowhere near the size of someone like Charles Schwab, New York Life, all of that. So have you seen success for people going against the really big companies with huge ad budgets? And
I didn't put it in here, but I have one for a life insurance company. Same problem. This is a little guy battling the Goliaths. And within a month, I think we took his traffic up like 400%. And it was, you know, crazy.
Is that the same category than a dental plan?
Dental's not near as competitive as the financial industry.
Yeah.
Finance.
millions and millions they invest in marketing.
Yeah, when you're dealing with any kind of insurance, any kind of financial planners, they know there's big money in that stuff. Like, here's another thing, you know, off of this topic, I told you guys I would give you some actionable stuff. Here's some actionable stuff that you want to keep in mind when you're doing like keyword research. It's not about what the SEO guys will tell you. It's not about like, I need the keyword that gets a gazillion searches a month. It's about Harriet. To give you an idea, I found one keyword. It only had like 10 searches a month. No SEO guy's going to go after that, right? Not worthwhile, right? They kick it out the window and don't even consider it. I went after that keyword, and it was worth $100 million job.
Wow.
One sale, $100 million. Was that worth going after?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy I went after it for thought so. He was pretty freaking happy. He sold a water park. There was only 10 people a month looking for water park construction. And I was the only one that showed up to play the game. He was pretty excited. Pretty cool keyword to go after. But in the SEO world, they throw that out when they do their analytics, when they do their keyword research. They're mass sifting and sorting. They're throwing the babies out with the bathwater. So take a real good look at the keywords before you
Because
decide.
this company was looking for a water park and using your magical software.
That was actually before this. This was back 10 years ago. This was when we were doing traditional SEO.
So when they looked for a specific word, then that specific seller.
Mhm. Yeah, that seller showed up at the top. Before, it's a really cool story. Before I did that for them, when they originally came to me, they wanted to sell fins, masks, and snorkels to resorts. They supplied resorts with their water sports equipment. So that's what they came to me for. And at the end of the first year, I always do a client consultation at the end of the first year. How can I do better? What's more profitable? How can I adjust this campaign and make it better for you? It's just part of my procedure. And the guy says, well, we make a lot of profit in water slides. I'm like, that would have been nice to know last year. And I readjusted his program. And 30 days later, he gets a call on a Saturday morning, and it's Celine Dion. And he hung up on her. He thought it was a joke. Hangs up on her, and she calls right back. She says, you know, we got disconnected. This is Celine Dion again. And he said, well, how did you get my number? And she said, well, I put in water slide, I forget the keyword, something about water slide installation. And you were number one. That's why I called you. That day, she flew him out to Las Vegas. He put $1 million water slide in her backyard. I have a picture of it. It's awesome. And he came back to me like he didn't want to wait a year. He came back to me and he's like, I want to do water parks. And I'm like, can you do water parks?
Can now?
Yeah, I can do water parks. And it was about 6 months and $100 million job.
Wow.
Pretty cool stuff with keywords. So keyword research is really important. Figuring out who Harriet is and what she's going to type in. Even if there's not a lot of them. If the profit's there, it's worth going after the little ones.
Yep.
So, another thing I'll give you guys, if you're not doing this, if you don't have my technology behind you, one of the most important things to play this game, if you show up, there's 10 people on the page. Who's going to get the click? The top one, if everything's equal, the top one will get 34%. The second one will get 17%, and I think it goes down to 9%. And then the rest is split between the rest. Yes?
I've heard that people are kind of skimming over all of the ads that are, because it's like paid, so they're going to the next.
Yeah, I'm talking purely organic here. The ads are generally at the top, and people know they're an ad. It says ad right on it.
So they skip past
A lot of people skip those. They go right to the organic. Now, if you're not going to be number 1, 2, or 3, Do you know what the next one you would want would be?
Bottom one.
Number 10. Because when they scroll to the bottom, here's the why. When they scroll to the bottom, they have to do something. They're either going to click or they're going to scroll back up, and it's easier to click. So the bottom one will get the 4th highest number of clicks. This is if all things are equal. Now, if all things are equal and you're number 4, I can show you how to get the most clicks in the 4th spot. And that's with a compelling headline, title.
Yep.
This is where your title is important. Your title and your description, that's the only thing you have to differentiate you from the other 9. So what I recommend for everyone is you really think hard about those titles and those descriptions. Put calls to action in them. And a little trick that I found is you can truncate them with a ... Like, click here to get your free ... My free what? I have to click it to find out what I'm going to get. What am I missing? Who's going to not click that?
That's fine.
So that's just some, told you I'd parachute down and
You gotta
give
know,
you some.
you gotta know I'm gonna test that.
Oh,
Oh, heck yeah.
please do.
Heck yeah, I'm gonna test that.
Please do. That is one of my best tricks
I love
for
that.
click-through ratio.
So do you work on one keyword and that you put all the focus on that?
Here's another thing. Back to Harriet. Forget keyword stuffing. And this is for everything that you write, everything that you create, whether it's a video, a script, a blog, I don't care what it is. Forget keyword stuffing. Write what she wants to hear. Far more important than the keyword.
We saw a competitor that had on the bottom of their front page, and the bottom of every page, they were literally stuffing, putting the actual, marketing city. And I looked at it, I was like, oh my God. It was just, you blatantly let Google know you're trying to game the system.
Yeah.
By putting where I could read it.
Yes.
How does having a Google business page help?
A Google business page is a really good thing to do. It gives you the benefit to that. One of the biggest benefits is when somebody does that search with your name, you're going to get that big listing on the side. I mean, what could be better than that? That's a really good thing to have. It also can put you in the 3-pack. Are you guys familiar with 3-pack? The 3-pack is the local listings that it displays at the top. Like you have your ads, and then if this is a local, like a local business, local dentist, it'll have the locations, like the maps. They used to call it the maps listings. If you have a Google My Business page, you're eligible for that. If you don't, you're not. So there's no reason whatsoever to not have a Google My Business page. It's free, fill it out, same rules apply,
Post to it.
right for Harriet, relevant stuff, yeah.
It's not a put it up there and leave it there though.
Yeah.
This is a post to it, engage with it.
Now this is different from like your Google listing where you need like an actual physical address, right? Like this is I don't even know what a Google
Well,
page.
Google
Yes.
My Business, this is where Google's giving you a website. They
Okay.
give you a free website on Google. It's called Google My Business. Yes, you have to have a physical location for that. In fact, to verify it, when you sign up, they're going to send a postcard with a code to that address.
Right.
You have to come back and put that code in. So that's how they verify you own that address.
You can tell them that no Harriet actually goes there, but they leave an address.
So I guess what my concern is because I'm not a brick and mortar, I don't want people showing up to
Like
my
I said,
house.
there's a
So,
way that you can tell them that no client goes there.
So does it
They
remain
need
hidden?
your actual address.
but then does the address remain hidden?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Your home
can,
will pop up.
this is your
No.
website. That's
Or
a
home
Google
will
My
not pop
Business page. So you can put in there all the parameters and the settings for what you want to show up there. If you don't want the address, you just hide it.
Sure,
Not a
still
problem.
does.
Yeah.
Sure, okay.
So the area will be like It totally doesn't pop up, it's just that area that pop up?
Correct.
Downtown that city?
Correct.
Or whatever. Not necessarily, like, for example, if you did it here, it's not gonna say downtown LA. No, it's gonna be the area that you're in.
So I want to be respectful. I don't know how
Yeah.
much time.
Let's take a couple more questions.
Okay.
And then we'll
Can
break.
you use a PO box? It has to be-
Yes. For Google My Business, yes, you could use PO Box or,
We always recommend to our clients that you don't use a PO box, that's the postal service. If you're gonna do something like that, use a post drop. So it's a physical address with a suite number.
yeah, and you can get those at almost any PO Box service.
Yeah.
UPS store, mailboxes, et cetera, that kind of thing.
How does VPN use, like, we work at Starbucks, we work at Regis, we work at Spaces, they all have internet. A lot of us use VPNs now because we don't want people, like here, I use a VPN, you're not gonna use a hotel internet on your computer, right? So
Yeah, that's fine.
So does a VPN,
You're still attached to an IP address.
yeah, but I can be in New York, I can be in Alaska.
Yeah, no, that kind of hides your identity,
Yeah.
but not really. Google's much smarter than you think.
Even with a VPN, they'll know that you're in an area.
Yeah, because that VPN is pinging off stuff. If you do a trace route, like if you take your phone
Yeah.
and you do a trace RT in
Yeah.
a DOS window, it'll run a ping to get from your device to the website server and back. And it'll show you all the pings. That's openly available.
Understand that VPN is like the Rebel Alliance, and Google is, you know,
The force.
they're not even oh wait, shoot, was it? Who were they fighting?
Stormtroopers.
Yeah, they're not the stormtroopers, they're the Force.
Yeah, you have,
They'll look at
you
both
have
sides.
no idea the depth of their depravity.
Yeah.
Let's just say
Yeah,
that.
you gave us a great story last night, it was scary as all
Yeah.
heck.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why I went from them being damn it! Who were the rebels fighting?
Death Star.
But who
No,
built the
Empire.
Death Star? The Empire. Google isn't the Empire, they're the Force. It's like, I thought they were the Empire, but no, they're the Force. So, after that story last night. So, any last question? Awesome, we're gonna take a break. You have forms for them to see if they qualify?
Yeah, there's a
Check with John in the next 5 minutes, and we're gonna finish up social media. Let's hear from John.